Hello and welcome
Hi.
to another Tuesday. It's always a special Tuesday
It
with
always
us,
seems to be special Tuesdays,
but this Tuesday
isn't
is extra special.
It is.
Because as you're watching this, we're actually away and we're
We
having
are.
a lovely time.
Yeah.
Probably anyway. And
Taking one for the team. That's
yeah, we're
what
taking
doing.
one for the team. Exactly. We do all the hard stuff basically.
Yeah.
So that the rest of the team can put up with us when we're back and making coherent sense. So today's thought comes from Acts 16 and it's all about Paul and Silas. So Gemma's going to read that.
Yes, so we got Acts 16 verses 25 to 34. About midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God. This is while they were in prison. And the other prisoners were listening to them. Suddenly, there was such a violent earthquake that the foundations of the prison were shaken. At once, the prison doors flew open and everyone's chains came loose. The jailer woke up, and when he saw the prison doors open, he drew his sword and was about to kill himself because he thought the prisoners had escaped. But Paul shouted, "Don't harm yourself. We're all here." The jailer called for lights, rushed in, and fell trembling before Paul and Silas. Then he brought them out and asked, "Sirs, what must I do to be saved?" They replied, "Believe in the Lord Jesus, and you will be saved, you and your household." Then they spoke the word of the Lord to him and to all the others in his house. At that hour of the night, the jailer took them and washed their wounds. Then immediately he and all his household were baptized. The jailer brought them into his house and set a meal before them. He was filled with joy because he had come to believe in God, he and his whole household.
So whenever I've read this passage before or heard it preached on, it's always been focused on Paul and Silas, and I can understand why. It's a pretty incredible event.
Paul and Silas event.
You're almost not surprised when it's Paul, really. But anyway, today upon reading it, we really were interested by the jailer and sort of his response to the actions of Paul and Silas. And so this jailer, he's so impacted by the integrity and honesty of Paul and Silas that not only doesn't he kill himself, but he recognises something really special about them. And so, again, not only this, but then he takes care of them. He washes their wounds. He invites them around for dinner and cooks them a good meal. And while this is all happening, Paul and Silas are preaching to him. And so, at the end of this passage, we read that him and his whole household are filled with joy, and they've come to know God. And so, just as I talked about in last week's service, what really stood out was that how people view our actions and make judgments about the church. And this, the jailer's impression of the church and of Christianity must have been absolutely incredible for this transformation to take place. So the actions of Paul and Silas in not escaping the prison not only led to saving someone's life, but the complete transformation of a whole household as they're all filled with joy and come to know Jesus. So those are some very short thoughts about that passage. We're having a great time, and I hope you are too. Have a good week.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.